Okay, yeah, I just wanted to do a new Grandbot build, and I thought I would do a recording of it so you could see how to make a Grandbot. This is kind of what it's going to look like mostly when it's finished. Of course, it's got the Arduino Nano on it. If you don't know what Grandbot is, there's another video for that. But yeah, it's meant to be a very easy build, so let's give it a go. I'm going to start with resistors. Just bending the legs. It's a very tight footprint, so you kind of have to really show it in there. Good enough, I guess. Then I try to keep all the stripies going the same way, just because it looks cooler. These aren't polarized components, so it doesn't really matter. This one's being kind of a pain, isn't it? Okay, I'm just gonna solder those real quick. And then cut off the legs. Gotta be careful with this because they can go everywhere. Then I got one more 220. Right here on the side. First three were for that LED. This one's for the buzzer. There we go. I'll just do the other one, other ones. So we got 22. Oops. Right here. And then a 10K. I think the 10K is for the photo resistor, and the 22K is for the current limiting set on the Max 7219, the driver for the LED, the 4-digit. Okay, cut those off. that's all the resistors. And typically you go from shortest component to tallest component. So looks like the capacitor's next. This is just a power filtering capacitor. For the LED driver. What next? I guess we'll do the other capacitor. This is the filter capacitor, another filter capacitor. It is polarized, so the stripey needs to be with the stripe on the footprint. So black matches black, white matches white. I think that's the only polarized component on this build. Okay, I am saving the Arduino for last because I'm going to solder that directly onto the board because I'm trying to make a shorter build. This one with the footprints is a little too tall, so for what I wanted to do. So, okay. Guess I'll just go ahead and do the speaker. Gonna bend the legs a little bit, make it sit better. Should be fine. Yeah, actually, I'm just gonna switch this around real quick. I don't actually think this is polarized, but I just want the dot to the top. Okay, that looks fine. And I will do, I probably should have done this earlier, but I'll do the socket for the LED driver now. See if my helping hand can hold this. Ugh. For me, it seems to be working. I'll just do 2 corners so I can check to make sure it looks good. Okay. Yeah, looks pretty flush. So I'll just go ahead and solder the rest of the pins. Okay, that looks good. I'll do the switch. I had one of these go bad on me, so I'm a little nervous about them. I'm just gonna try to not to do too much heat. Just very quick soldering. Okay, that was a good example of that, and there we go. Seems fine. Okay. I'll do this photoresistor. It's not polarized, but I am gonna bend the legs a little bit because I want it to stick up. So. It's important to find the perfectly cute amount for it to stick up. That might be too much. Seems fine. Spread the legs so I can keep it in place. Okay, this is kind of a wide footprint. I did that intentionally because I wanted to be able to fold it over if I decided to. I haven't been, but I like keeping the option open. And I'm just going to leave the common cathode straight so that I know which one it is. Just trying to fit all these pins in here. Okay. It's not pretty. Let's see how that works. Yeah, that should do it. It's going to be one of the taller parts, so I'm trying to make sure it's smooshed. Seems maximum smooshed. Okay. Cool. Yeah, that looks right. What next? So I'm saving the Arduino for last. So it looks like the only thing that's left is the display. I'm gonna gently put the display in these headers, not super tight because I don't want the heat to transfer. But I just want to know like the angle to keep as I'm soldering. So if I can get these in here. I cut these to size. It's I think it was 8 pins each side. Doesn't want to go right now. Okay. use this to hold it up. I'm going to do one pin on each end of each header. And make sure it looks fine. I think we could get it to go further down. Yeah. Okay, I'm just going to pull it out now. Finish the last two pins. Okay. Let's see how it looks. Yeah, cool. Looks good. Okay, I have a pre-programmed Arduino. I'm going to try soldering this directly into the board. It's another very tight fit. Let's see how it goes. Try to be quick with this because I don't want to hurt the Arduino. Yeah, they look mostly good. There's one pin that kind of looks like a cold joint. Okay, so I'm going to clip them. Alright, be careful when you're doing that, because that had a lot of stuff flying around. Okay. Chip is polarized. This is Max 7219. Absurdly expensive chip now for some reason. I'm just going to try to pop it in. It is polarized, just like all ICs. Let's see. There's a little half circle. There's a little half circle on the footprint. So, okay. There's that. I'm a little nervous to power it on because I had to solder the Arduino into it, but let's see what happens. Let's add a. I cut these acrylic panels, so let's add those. Of course, I started with the one that doesn't actually need this top spacer. So take that off. This is just going to be a screw. But then the other one should have it. So. Whoops, screw that in. Tighten these. Back panel. This is going to be without the MIDI board. So. Oh, I put that on backwards. Okay. Good habit to get into is loosely place all the screws before tightening them. That way things are positioned correctly. Top. Okay, let's try powdering the oven, I guess. Fingers crossed, no blue smoke. Make sound, facial expression. Goes to sleep. How's the light? Seems like a good build. I actually think I can drop this front panel lower. So I'm gonna do that, and maybe I'll just speed through it. Cool. I think that is a good looking build. I like it. Thin. Okay, cool. Yeah. Well, there you go, Grandbot.